Hello and welcome to The Redeemables, a podcast where we take movies that scored 50 or less on Metacritic and decide whether to redeem them or nail them to the cross. I'm Duff, the host of the evening, and I have my dear friends BJ.
Hey.
And Kenny.
Hey.
How's it going, guys? You feeling good?
Yeah,
Because
really.
I'm pumped.
Okay.
Because the movie I chose today is a fun one.
It's definitely an exciting movie.
Yeah.
Battle Los Angeles.
When you invade a place for its resources, you wipe out the indigenous population. Right now, we are being colonized.
What the hell is that thing?
Oh my god.
Fall back! Fall back!
How many of you?
5 of us, 3 kids.
We have civilians coming out!
Can't take them, we got no room!
Wait! Kids!
Did Battle Los Angeles have another title?
Yes.
Yeah, because I got a bit confused when I was looking it up.
Yes. World Invasion. Battle LA.
Right, because when you named the movie at the end of last week, and I was like, Battle LA. And then when I looked it up, I was like, where the fuck did I get that from? And when I was actually writing in text, I had Battle, LA.
Colon.
Yeah, it's colon, semicolon?
It's punctuation.
Yes, semicolon.
So yeah, that definitely confused me.
Oh,
So it's 2 titles.
2 titles, but we'll stick with Battle Los Angeles.
That's the Australian
title.
title.
Rage Against the Machine album before I realised it
Rolls off my tongue. It was released on the 14th of March in 2011. So that I feel like it should have been released later than that.
Yeah, I didn't think it was that old.
That's a theme. Have you noticed that?
Yeah.
Wow, was it that long ago? Life is passing us by around
Yeah,
here.
very quickly.
Too fast.
I get a little sad every time we do the release date.
Oh, it's been 10 years. I've done nothing with my life. It was written by, here comes a savagery of names, Christopher Bertoloni.
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 I know him.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's done nothing apart from Battle Los Angeles.
No, he makes salamis.
Salamis.
Or is that Bertocci?
No, that's Belagoni. As directed by Jonathan Liebsman. I'll get into him a bit later because I don't know how he got this.
I don't know the name.
No,
when I looked it up, I was like, you'd usually know a director's name and you
Mm.
kind of go, oh, I think he did this, and that. I was like, never heard of him.
The facts on the internet is like a paragraph.
Yeah,
And
right.
They all say that what I just said.
He's
I
a
don't know
ghost.
how he got to make this movie. It stars the amazing, talented fella Aaron Eckhart.
Mm-hmm.
Lad. The formidable Michelle Rodriguez.
Mm-hmm.
Hip-hop artist Neo.
Is Neo, was he a pop star at that time?
Yes, I believe so. I've never heard anything he's ever done.
He's more of a producer, isn't he? Doesn't he write songs for the big stars?
One of my young
think
friends
that's
go,
his-
I know who Neo is, and I quickly told him to leave. So.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he writes for, or back in that time period, 10 years ago, I think he was like writing for Chris Brown or something like that.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
no
think
wonder
he was
we
an
haven't heard of
artist.
him.
Sorry, we can move on from Neo.
Okay, thank you.
Be
So
happy
I've
to.
still got my favourite actor to mention. Friend of the podcast, Michael Pena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pena. How do you say his second name? Is it Pena or Pena?
Well, the little line is above the N, so does that mean you drag the N?
Pena.
We are doing a lot of punctuation already tonight.
Pena.
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 Yeah, Michael Pena.
Pena. Let's go with Pena.
Yeah, he's Mexican, isn't he? Yeah. Yeah, he is. Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Now, at the box office, let's bring that up. Come on a journey with me. First of all, let me get your thoughts. Do you think it was a box office bomb?
It's hard to say because I'd have to look at what else came out around the same time.
Just,
What's
what's your gut
my
telling
gut
you,
feel.
Ken?
How much did it cost to make?
Oh, I'll soon tell you.
Well, I need to know that to know if it was
Okay,
a
mate.
bomb.
There was a lot of buzz
Because if it
around
cost
if I
3
remember.
million and then it made 10 million, it's not a bomb.
Well, it is.
So tell me how much.
So this movie cost $70 million.
That's a lot of money.
70 mil to
With
make.
an unknown director, as far as I'm concerned, $70 million.
All right. Let me think. Big trailer, 2011.
There's a lot of hype around it
Well,
coming out.
was there? And were we watching those sort of movies in 2011?
Oh, yeah. Black Hawk Down, War of the Worlds.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to say it wasn't a bomb then. Because I reckon the trailer would have looked pretty good for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, BJ thoughts?
I think it probably opened really well and then died in the arse.
Let's go to the big reveal. Shuffling of papers, opening up Notepad. $211 million worldwide.
Jesus.
Not including streaming services, which is nearly on
That's
all
just
of them.
box office.
That's just
straight up.
Yeah, wow.
box office.
Is that our biggest success?
It's almost tripling
Yeah.
its original.
Yeah, I think
it's a big success for 70 million.
Yeah.
Domino was like 23. Butterfly Effect was 97, I think.
Yeah. So no wonder we haven't heard from the Leaves. He's bought an island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unreal.
Makes terrible movies on it. Despite its raging success from moviegoers around the world,
Did you write that down?
I wrote that down, and as I was saying it, I was like,
It's a raging
let's
success.
just not do your notes anymore because it's written like a 4-year-old. I got my daughter to write it. So the critics, of course, people love it. The critics hated the hell out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So
When you say the people love it, do you know what the score was? Do you know what the score was for the people on Metacritic? Do you know how it
$211 million.
No,
only score
well,
that
that just
counts.
means they went.
Yeah, they voted with
Yeah, I
them.
think
Okay, all right.
it's mid-60s. I didn't look that up. One of my major downfalls.
Yeah, I
is
went
research.
to.
Just make it up.
I'm pretty sure the new Star Wars film did quite well at the box office as well, but I'm not sure the people love that one a month down the track.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fair point.
So the critics said, I got A.O. Scott from the New York Times.
Ayo.
Adam Oliver Scott, give it to me.
Adam Oliver.
Yeah,
Nice.
his
That's
name.
right. So he gave it a 30, which isn't that bad.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, it's not
He
good.
just missed out on 70 points. He said, as it lurches from Act 2 to Act 3, battle Los Angeles, and he did Los as L-O-S-S.
Clever.
Fucking classic AO. Reveals itself to be a lousy movie.
Okay.
Just straight to the point, lousy.
When does it reveal itself? Between what?
Between Act 2 and 3, so in the middle of the movie where it's all gun-to.
That's
and,
separating the acts.
and then they
yeah,
go,
okay.
oh, let's get the mothership or whatever.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he loved Act 1, apparently.
He loved Act 1,
All
didn't
in,
mention it.
yeah.
That's where he got the 30 from. The other ones was lousy.
Act 1 was pretty well done.
Yeah.
Like the kind of introduction to everything and the character.
Yeah, the
and all that.
California.
I liked it.
California.
It was generic, but it's good. Oh, yeah, the intro song. Yeah.
Yeah, helicopters and California Love. Great.
Beach workouts.
Guess what, guys? I have a massive surprise. A callback from episode 1.
Yeah.
The Glib is back.
Oh, the Glebe!
The Glib!
All right, go.
Yeah, we're going to start owing this guy royalties.
The Glib said, except for the relentless, jittery way the film has been photographed, there's nothing of interest in it.
So
That's
he
it.
liked the
In it.
jittery bit.
He liked the jittery bit.
Oh, okay.
He gave the score 25.
That's classic Glebe, isn't it?
Yeah, the Glebe, I
Just,
love him.
Look, I know he's just happy to be mentioned on our podcast, so shout out to Glebe. But
Yeah.
stop being a miserable prick.
Yeah.
Live a little, Glebe.
So
I might look him up and find out what he does actually like.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll just find one that bombed, but he liked it. Yeah, I just want to get in the mind of him now.
the
black and
Glib
white.
is on an entertainment website
It'll be
called
the artist.
Entertainment.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
That's how much of a personality he has. I discuss entertainment, so I'll call my website Entertainment.
But I'm not actually entertained by any of
That's
this
the
that I'm
irony.
watching. Yeah.
He's trapped in a box of irony.
So what I get from most of the critics' reviews I read, they all hate the way it's filmed. It's like they've gone a Save It Private Ryan look.
Yeah, like handheld cameras.
Yeah, but you can tell it's not handheld.
Yep.
Richard Quanaris
I didn't tell that at all. I
from
actually
the
thought it was
Times
handheld.
said, shaking cam is fake amateurism. The visual equivalent of a comedian pretending to have Parkinson's.
What?
That he's harsh.
Yeah,
he's harsh. I didn't even write his Metacritic down, not because
You just forgot.
I'm
didn't you?
terrible at doing research. There is a zero. There is a zero. Someone
Zero review. I don't think I've actually ever seen anything that is a zero review. Like me personally.
Oh, yeah.
As in, I don't think I've
Other
ever
than
watched.
Domino.
Like, if you sit for
Domino
a,
had 2 zeros.
No, as in, I don't think I've ever watched a movie and gone, well, that's just 0 out of 100.
gotcha.
Like, surely it's just 5. Like, there was something in there that was
it has
okay.
to be Aaron Eckhart. That's worth 40.
We'll talk about that later.
No.
Okay, we got.
I don't want to continue on with this if this is how it's going to go.
What did the zero review say, Duff?
Yeah.
This one isn't original or even bearable.
What was the overall Metacritic score? I didn't.
The Metacritic score for Battlefield, is 37.
37 out of 100.
I'm just glad it got higher than Domino, to be honest.
1 point.
Just. Yes.
I would
One point.
celebrate
If
that.
it wasn't for that unbearable guy, it would have got Probably still 37.
37 out of 100.
So here, the Wikipedia says the film is set in a modern-day Los Angeles and follows a Marine Staff Sergeant, played by Aaron Eckhart, who leads a platoon of U.S. Marines joined by other stranded military personnel during a global alien invasion.
Yeah, sums it up well.
Well done, Wikipedia.
It's exactly what it was.
It's
exactly what it was.
It's just so dull.
Yeah.
It's like,
No, but they do well because it takes 2 hours of film and then goes, here's a sentence.
Yeah, other military personnel. Like, yeah.
So, what was your thoughts on the movies? What
I
did
hope
you think?
Wikipedia, sorry, just before we move on, I hope
yeah,
Wikipedia
sure.
do a review on our podcast one day. Yeah. So they just take like 20 episodes of an hour long each and just put it all into one sentence.
Three blokes laughing at their own jokes.
Three cackling
sums it up.
middle-aged men.
Unbearable.
No. Wikipedia would not have an opinion.
of course.
No,
It's
it's
just, this
just-
is what it is.
Just facts. I hate
That's be
them.
the first time they go out of their lane and have an opinion.
For this,
Just
this is
for
the one.
Unbearable.
Yeah, it's brought them out.
A lousy podcast.
Sorry, where were you going?
I just want to get your thoughts on the movie. Did you like it? Did you hate it?
Yeah. It was exciting. It was an exciting movie.
Yeah.
There were some things about it that I really didn't like, and then there was some really cool stuff in there. Without giving away too much or without going into too much detail, it bothered me right up front for a very particular reason. I hate it when movies or TV shows or books, any form of media, start off with a 21 hours ago or, a year before, and it shows you like a scene of what's going to happen later in that show.
That's a very specific hate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but some movies or shows do it.
Yeah.
And they say...
It's a lazy way of introducing this is how it happens.
Yeah, so they show you a scene and then they go... I think in this case it was 17 hours before, and then it started from there. It's like, okay, cool, so I know where we're at 17 hours from now. And I get that you stop thinking about that as you're watching the movie, that, when are we going to get to that point that was at the start? But why have it? It's almost like...
It's exposition.
Yeah.
It's my favourite
Is it
word.
though? But it's almost like a preview for what's coming up on tonight's episode of MasterChef. And they show you like the 8 mildly entertaining bits to try and keep you glued to the screen to sell ad space or whatever. In this particular case, hey man, I'm at the fucking cinema. You don't need to show me what's coming up. I'm going to get there. I'm not leaving.
I'm guessing there's going to be a battle somewhere in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
And then they show,
shit.
up
So it
until
just
now,
put me off straight away. I was like, I hate that.
I hate it now too.
Yeah, good. Glad it's
I still
another
love
one on board.
What do you think, Ben?
I had more thoughts than that, but I'm happy to kick it off with that.
I'm done with you. You went off negative and I'm like,
I really, really enjoyed it.
oh, thank
Good
God.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Okay.
I was
Cool.
shocked by how much I enjoyed it.
Yes.
I watched it when it came out and have very little memory of it other than like, whatever.
Not what I expected from you at all.
Me neither.
Nah.
And I was all in. I was like, this is actually super entertaining.
Yeah.
I was invested. I was excited. Thank you, Duff.
Yes.
Good
Yeah,
choice.
yeah, thank you. Because I must say, I did
Fun,
enjoy
baby.
watching it. Yeah,
I've
it
got to
is
give
fun.
you some fun. We've had Domino,
Well,
a
that was
crazy chick,
really fun.
and then Butterfly Effect. I needed
Not
to detox.
fun.
Different kind of fun.
Yeah, no, not fun. No, not any kind of fun.
So my thoughts is I loved it. I've always loved it. I reckon I've watched it at least 100 times. It's one of those
That's a lot.
movies. Yeah.
Wow.
100?
100?
I reckon about
Challenge.
26 times.
Challenge.
Even that's a lot.
But like
You've
you
lost
say
all
a hu-
credibility.
When you say 100, you go, "Oh, he watches it a lot." But everyone knows I haven't watched it 100 times.
Then why
Yeah.
say it? Duff really liked it. He watched it a lot.
Yeah, I watched it. I've watched it a lot. I've always loved it.
I hadn't actually watched this a lot at all, which is rare.
That's weird for you.
It is, because the genre of film, whatever you want to call it, but
I was
it's
going to
basically...
ask you, what is the genre? That's the...
if you want to go real specific, it is like a global apocalyptic movie.
It's a sci-fi war movie.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That's two different things.
No,
But-
no.
Yeah.
Apparently not.
No.
Okay, so it's a global apocalyptic sci-fi military film.
It's a
Yeah.
mashup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for that genre, I love those type of movies. Like that Greenland movie with Gerard Butler that came out last year.
Oh.
I've already watched that 3 times.
Film.
I
I've watched it
I watched
100
3 times, and it's
Kev.
basically the same genre.
You better never tell me
Whereas-
your time port ever again.
Whereas Battle Los Angeles, I've only ever seen once when it first came out, so I couldn't remember it or how I even felt about it. But I did put the dots together and go, why have I only ever watched this once? I thought I would have gone back to it by now. So there must have been a reason for that, which we'll get into later.
I would never have watched it again if it wasn't for Duff effectively forcing my hand.
Yeah, so you had
But I'm
no real memories of it
I remember
either.
being super underwhelmed by it.
Okay.
And I was staggered by how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just love it. I love the way it progresses through the film, and it's like you actually care about their characters.
Yep.
In these sort of movies, you don't really care.
Yep.
They actually do the care about the characters thing really well, and they do it almost straight out of the textbook of late 90s apocalypse movies like Armageddon or Independence Day or whatever, where it's just 2 minutes on each character.
Yeah.
But you're going to find out a heap about them.
Yep.
It's kind of thrown on you, and it's basic writing, but it's cool because it's I just want this quick introduction, so I know this person, so I do actually give a shit about them and a little bit about their backstory, and then cool. Now let's get into the movie.
Yeah.
And when that shit gets brought back up later, it's like, oh great, I already knew that about.
When
them.
they inevitably die.
Yeah, pretty much.
No, I agree. I sympathise with the characters.
Yeah,
and
because of the intro.
Yeah, there was cliches.
Yeah.
There has to be cliches.
Work.
It's a cliche movie. Like it is a cliche.
Oh man,
and
there's
you have to be
so
okay
many
with
cliches.
that.
There's also a surprise as well when they finally rescue the civilians. They put them in a helicopter. It's like, get the injured and get them out of there.
Yeah,
go in the air. Oh shit! We just find out the aliens have air support, which they didn't have. What a way to introduce! Oh shit! There's air support.
Yeah.
Because that was their whole advantage.
Yeah.
They only have ground troops.
Yeah, some really clever stuff like that.
Which brings me to my next point: the thoughts on the aliens. I feel this is what I felt. I felt you never really got
you
to
asked me
see
my thoughts, but
what they are. You just bounce off my thoughts. What they are, they're aliens, but I can't specifically tell you what they look like.
Oh, as in whether
man-sized.
they're machines or whether they're organic.
They're definitely organic. They might be machines.
Oh no, they are. Yeah, because they cut one open.
Yeah,
they're organic, but are they not wearing some sort of like battle armor?
Are you saying they're wearing exoskeletons?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay,
yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah,
but I never.
Maybe I like the aliens.
I never got an idea of what they are.
I had a problem with them, with the aliens themselves, not as in the physical makeup of them, but they didn't do any. This is going to sound weird, but they didn't do any really harsh things that make you hate the baddies or enemy in a film.
They wiped out pretty much all of Los Angeles and around the world globally.
Yeah, but
they're all fucking
They
dead.
didn't show them.
Water.
Yeah, but they didn't show them blowing up a school bus, or they didn't show them. No, but you want to try and you want to feel that hatred towards the aliens.
I think that was.
And I was kind of like, they're just doing what aliens do.
God,
there's a lot of widescreen shots of the actual city burning, but you want to see one bus.
Yeah, but that's
burn.
just what
Fuck the
regular
city.
aliens do.
Show me a bus. Show me a bus.
Honestly,
burn.
I'm a little concerned.
It's just aliens.
Just show me the bus.
What do you expect them to do?
Well,
They're just
shoot
doing alien
everyone.
shit.
They were
what they
double
were
tapping
doing.
people. They showed shots of them like walking down the street, like double tapping the
Did
innocent.
they?
Yeah, boom, boom,
Okay.
boom, boom.
Boom.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So interestingly enough, about the aliens, I believe that it was designed in a way that they operated like military cells, right?
Oh, the
had
same
that
way
dude-
the soldiers were.
Yeah, they were designed to be like an appropriation.
Oh, that was a
of human
floating
sort-
one in charge of all the things.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It was sort of like an appropriation of a human army. They were meant to act in the same way. They had like a hierarchy. They had foot soldiers. They had
Yeah, that was cool. Yeah, very military.
Yeah. So maybe they live by the Lords of Engagement. Maybe they care about the Geneva Convention from and they're not just going to blow up bloody school buses.
So I have got some more thoughts
Go for
about
it, mate.
the aliens themselves now.
I can't wait.
The visual effects. Is this the time to bring this up, or what?
Yeah,
do you wanna
I
do?
feel-
Where were you about to go? Because I've got a lot on visual effects. Are we touching on visual effects
Let's
later?
go visual effects.
You
I'm
want to do
ready
visual
go.
effects now?
I think we should because
Because that's kind of what I was saying. You couldn't actually see what the aliens
that's
were.
the Jaws thing,
It
right?
was like a
Yeah, but I'm not sure that was
blurry,
intentional
fast.
or whether the budget on the visual effects just wasn't
budget.
very high.
The budget's 70 million, Ken.
Yeah, I don't know what they spent on. I don't know how much of that was on the visual.
looked at it.
Here's my thing with the visual effects, right? And I'm sure you would have noticed this as well. If not, Duff, I'm sure you noticed this, BJ. That the visual. This is 2000. Well, you were probably just a bit excited about the whole thing.
Oh,
and
6
drinking
beers in.
beers and
6 beers in.
I was stone cold sober.
okay. So the actual effects themselves are not good. They're not good at all.
Just the aliens, or more broadly?
Aliens, but more broadly as well. The explosions, the cars flipping, things like that looked very 20 years before its time. I actually felt like, let's say it's compared to Independence Day, which I don't want to compare it too much to that because I think they're very different. I think one's a lot better than the other, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
the visual effects from Independence Day, which is from, say, 98, 96? When's Independence Day? It's around there, right?
Yeah,
So let's say 12 to 15 years earlier.
Yeah.
But they're way better. To the point where I actually went and loaded up Independence Day afterwards just to make sure, like, was I just being real negative about those visual effects, or were they actually not good?
I think the scale is a lot easier to do Independence Day on that scale with models and stuff on large spaceships.
No, but I don't care how they did it. The fact that when you're watching it I get that Independence Day did it with models, but when you're watching it on the screen,
Yeah.
once 15 years after, all the new technology, say they might have had, Independence Day's probably got a bit more money thrown at it, but it wasn't as good. And it's 15 years later. To the point where I actually saw some scenes look like they were late 80s special effects. Like I was thinking Terminator 1 shit in some of those scenes. Some of the lasers getting fired. There's a particular one where the car flips and then lands when they're on the bridge, and the sedan flips over and lands on top of one of the soldiers. Yeah. It just looks so bad.
I disagree. I didn't notice any.
Wow,
bad
you didn't notice it either?
I didn't notice it.
And Ben didn't notice it.
Nah.
And I didn't notice it.
I liked the carnage scenes. Like
It was
the wide
actually-
angles. I mean, maybe I just want to see LA burn.
The burning LA was cool when it was a long shot, but when it was like a really specific
Yeah.
visual effect where they needed. I think maybe if I'm talking specifically, it was the CGI.
Yeah.
It was really bad.
There was a lot of explosions, like close-up explosions, and I thought they were great when
They were real, weren't they?
Lieutenant,
The explosions looked real.
Lieutenant,
Yeah.
Lieutenant actually killed himself.
Wow, was it that real?
He's such a character
so
actor.
method.
The lieutenant's actually played by Jared Leto. So.
Okay, I'm actually shocked that you guys didn't see
I'm
that.
sure-
I mean, you've ruined it for me on next watch.
Yeah,
Thanks, but,
I'm surprised you didn't pick it up on the first watch. I
I'm
just
so
had a
invested, man.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That it didn't bother you.
It did not.
No,
Oh,
didn't
it
pick
just
it
it really
Special effects didn't bother me. It didn't even cross my mind.
I'm also
Wow.
thinking you probably have a much better TV than me. At this
it
point.
could be that actually. It could be.
I
that.
watched it on 24 inch.
The TV's designed to the movie's designed to watch on a rear projection TV, which
Does it
you
matter
have
that
at
I
your
watched it on
house.
my phone? Did you reckon that made much of a difference?
Might have. I'll Google the visual effects of this after we're done here and put some stuff on the socials.
Yeah. Okay.
See if anyone out there
I'll
agrees
assess
with
the
me or whether
some
I've just
skills.
gone on this long rant and I'm just one guy standing on a hill alone.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to know now.
No, I didn't realize you
Yeah.
had such a high standard. I'm going to have to reassess the movies.
I
again.
do when it's a sci-fi blockbuster that was $70 million spent on it. I want it, and 2011. That's not that old.
No, you're right.
It's the new era of special effects. I want it to look perfect, and it just didn't.
You're comparing it to Independence Day, which was like a whole
Completely
new standard.
different movie.
Yeah, but
like,
I know I keep saying it, but it's 15 years before.
in the larger scale of things, it's a lot easier to do
Do
large.
you know how much better computers got between 1996 and 2011?
I wasn't paying attention.
I couldn't care less.
We didn't even have computers in our house.
A fun fact about this movie, though it's based in LA, it was actually filmed in Louisiana. So it should be Battle Wolf, Louisiana. And there should have been gators in there.
But they want people to care.
Yeah, true.
I just want to. Sorry to interject. I just carry on.
So, are you Googling something?
I looked up the Independence Day budget and I was like, wow, but it was actually the box office, not the budget. It took me a minute.
What was the
I like,
box office?
Fuck, they spent $817 million on
Is
that
that how
movie.
high it was? Crazy.
Yeah, no wonder they made a shitty set.
So, even though... I don't want to go on about visual effects anymore because I'm not going to win you over.
No, go on. It's fun.
No, I'm just... If you're looking at... All right, I get it.
Go.
All right, I will say this.
Let's
I will
prove
say
it.
this. The visual effects are so... All right, I'm going to call it the CGI from now on because I can see visual effects is bothering you guys.
Bothering me.
So the
Heaps.
CGI, I think, was really subpar even for a movie that year, let alone versus other sci-fi blockbusters. But I will say that the sets themselves... like the actual set pieces that they created, like the streets that had basically been destroyed, they looked phenomenal. Like
what Louisiana looks like.
That was natural fog.
But the set pieces look phenomenal. The attention to detail and all the little things on the street, I thought was really cool. Like I look out for that sort of stuff. I like it when it looks good and real.
Just wanted a charred school bus.
Yeah, we got one in the end. Yeah.
True.
The costumes, the vehicles like the tanks and all that sort of stuff, the helicopters, it all looked really cool. It all looked really great. It was just the actual CGI,
Just the
man.
lasers.
Yeah.
Just the lasers.
What's CGI though?
Computer generated
I know
imagery.
what it is.
I don't even know
But
if I'm right.
I don't even know what you're talking about. Like what?
The
like
lasers.
just
He
the
didn't like the lasers.
So
I
anytime
don't think
it
you
wasn't-
like the
okay.
car turning over.
No. So
That's what
anytime there wasn't a real stunt,
Oh,
or
they're all done by Michael Pena.
Yeah, so when it wasn't real stunts, you can see that it's CGI, or for example, the lasers and things like that. Yeah, it just didn't look good. It looked like it had been superimposed, which it had, but poorly. Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas usually you watch a sci-fi blockbuster like that, you wouldn't be able to tell that. Like it just looked like you're so into it, and there's layers.
There's two people in this room that couldn't tell that.
Yeah.
Well, you guys are wrong.
Survey says
There's one person in this room that's right.
I just on as a tangent.
Go for it.
I've got a couple of just talking points from the film that I thought stood out.
I'm glad you guys bring some because I fucked up.
Firstly, how long after meteors are landing offshore from major cities around the world would you get the fuck out of Dodge?
Immediately.
Like there's people
In
hanging
real
around.
life?
Yeah,
Oh,
man. There's
but
people on
4
the
minutes.
beach.
But the traffic.
There's people at the
4
beach.
minutes, and I'm getting straight out of any heavily populated area.
I hear the news chopper over my house for a while.
Yeah.
I'm hiding under the bed.
Yeah. I'm in the woods.
You know what I mean? I'm like, and this is like clearly, and CNN
The
reported it widely.
meteors are slowing down.
Yeah, they're slowing down.
Yeah.
All right, fuck this, I'm out, right? Not I'm going to the beach.
Yeah.
What is wrong with those people?
Well, you can't. If the swell's in, you can't beat the waves, bro.
It's California, I
That's
guess.
California.
California love. Yeah, so I would be out. I'd be out.
That's the same in Independence Day. Bring that up. There's motherfuckers on the towers welcoming him.
Yeah, woo, I hope they're friendly.
Well, they want to be taken.
Well, then Michael Pena says, I thought we might be able to
Yeah.
make friends. I'm getting the feeling they're not friendly or whatever.
Yeah.
Well done. Great last words. When has a veterinarian in a movie not come in super handy?
Yeah, true.
I want when there's an apocalyptic event,
I need a vet.
I'm grabbing the nearest vet.
Yeah, that's good. I'm trying to think of another good vet in a movie.
I
where
can't
they-
specifically.
Yeah. No, but you're right, though.
But it's not
Yeah.
like, is there a
She's
doctor
cutting-
here? No, but I'm a veterinarian.
Yeah.
It's fucking close enough.
Like
And they do everything up until the point where they go, whoa, I'm only a vet.
And she goes,
Yeah.
she goes, just aliens and animals.
Yeah.
And were Aaron Eckhart and the vet vibing?
I think they were vibing.
There's something there.
Well, is there something that turns them on about like an
No,
alien
I think
apocalypse?
he's a hero to her.
Yeah.
He's a white knight, if you will,
Yeah.
saving her.
Just there's that little touch of the hand, little brush of the hand.
I'm glad they
like
didn't
that.
do that, though.
Yeah.
No,
As in, I'm glad they didn't go
Yeah.
right in deep into that. But
Yeah,
that was nice.
there was just
let-
tension there.
Yeah,
There
there's
was
enough
there's a
there.
bit
Do
of
you
sexual
reckon
tension.
Aaron Eckhart at any point's like, look, are you hitting on me? Because I got some shit going on. Like, I'm a busy man. Can you look me up on Tinder later on? Because clearly the comms are still working.
Well,
so
There's an end credit scene where it's black, and then she's in bed, he's taking a shower and putting ice on his knees. So whether they had a slumber party and he went for a run, I'm not sure.
then he's driving a convertible along the coast listening to Tupac. Yeah. I just wanted to point out I've been on scarier bus rides than that one.
Oh, yeah? What have you been on?
Yeah, I've been on Trans-Perth when there's no trains running to Armidale.
Hell no.
Oh, man. And the other thing, they got back to the safety and their heroes and was like, thank you for your service, And then they're like, breakfast is in there. And they're like, no, we're skipping breakfast and we're going back in.
Yeah.
Have a fucking Egg McMuffin.
Yeah, have something.
It
Just
bothered
run
me.
by and grab a power bar.
Yeah, dude.
Get a bit of
He's
energy.
He's just
You-
reloading.
You're no good to everyone when you're
Yeah,
hangry.
reloading your gun. Reload your body, Aaron.
They'd
Like-
probably already, with the dropping of the ropes, seen like that kind of heroism was already done. Like we
Yeah.
already get it. They didn't need that bit
No,
at the end.
and
in
I
my
didn't
opinion,
go,
yeah.
oh, good, they're skipping breakfast.
Very
Breakfast aside,
Yeah.
they just didn't need
It's one
that
of
whole
the
bit.
top
Probably.
3 most important meals of the day.
That's how you can tell he got a bit of inspiration from Black Hawk Down because they do the exact same thing.
Ah, they do.
They come
Right.
back, they load up their weapons, and they head out again. I
Eric
didn't see
Banner,
it.
doesn't he?
Yeah, right.
So what I mentioned earlier is Jonathan Lieberman. He did take a lot of inspiration from Black Hawk Down and War of the Worlds,
Yeah, I see that.
Right.
and
It did feel like a military movie. It felt
Yeah.
like Black Hawk Down.
yeah, it literally was.
Over enemy lines, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
So he said he wanted it to be
He,
a
he,
war movie.
he took
with
inspiration from Black Hawk Down and Saving Private Ryan. That's why the jittery camera, which
Yeah.
I think in this case it works.
I liked it for most of the movie. I just didn't like it for the intro. Where like there's just two guys standing in an office talking to each other and the camera's like shaking around and
So
like,
you're resigning.
yeah. I was just like, yeah, okay.
How are the kids?
But I get it. It was just yeah. Why is the camera shaking? Yeah, but I get it. It was the style of the movie, and I was actually, despite what the critics say, I was
That's
fine
one
with
of the
it. Yeah.
things on a rewatch. I was expecting it to be more jittery. I remembered it being much more. I think I might have got it confused with some other movies, which we'll talk about later. But I thought there was more shaky camera. I actually thought it was used well. I didn't think it was overdone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd agree
I
with that.
agree.
Yeah, I didn't notice it other than the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of the film, I didn't notice it at all. But if you notice that,
Yeah.
then it's not doing its job.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's bothering you.
I also
Like
like
the CGI.
This is a weird fact, but I love movies that do this. I love it. No opening credit scenes. Let's just get into the motherfucker. We already know who's in it.
Was
It's
there
in the
not?
trailer? No opening. It just goes straight into it.
Nothing.
It just says 17 hours before.
Yeah. Oh, you know what else I love? I love the audio starting during the pre-credit things. Like you've got like the name of the studio and whatnot, and in the background you've got like the radio cackling.
Yeah.
Aliens are landing in Japan.
Meteor.
And stuff. I was like,
that's cool. Yeah,
I was like, wow, audio before the visuals is like it's.
They did do the fast cutting between news stations as well. didn't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
I love that.
The news feed stood the test of time. Like
With
the
that
whole
chick?
world was on fire, but a TV was always on somewhere.
Yeah.
With
Yeah.
fucking CNN still going.
Like
That is proof that CNN will survive the apocalypse.
Going through the houses and CNN still on. Should we get into the acting? Or have you got another
The acting
I
or
just,
the
had, I
actors?
just had one more.
acting and actors?
Specifically acting.
I think it's both. It's like a
We
general
can't discuss
thing.
one without the other, Kevin. But just quickly on the Leibs, the other thing that I believe
On the what?
Oh, yes,
Leibsman-
Leaves.
Oh, Leibs.
Yeah, I think he apparently part of his research for this was he watched YouTube clips of like real Marines doing like insurgents and stuff like that.
Oh,
Is that what
yeah,
it's called?
okay.
Insurgent?
Insurgency.
Insurgents?
I
I don't know.
Insurging.
He watched clips of real Marines doing Marine things.
Well, apparently there was a boot camp they all had to do for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And they hated it. They said it was rough, but they had a good time doing it.
It's just like SAS Australia.
Yeah. It was
Lots of getting up early and shouting.
Jonathan Lieberman, the mystery that is him. So he didn't make much. He made a...
I was waiting for a big reveal there.
Nah,
he
there's-
actually did
there's-
Independence Day as well.
He does. He did these
lit-
movies under the name
he did-
Steven Spielberg.
He did a... He did a short movie called The Rings, which is based on The Ring, the Japanese films.
Naomi Watts.
Yeah. Don't
Wait.
talk about it.
I don't like her either.
So like that horror movie on with the
Yeah,
TV.
the horror movie. So he did a short movie of that.
freaky kid, yeah.
He actually caught the attention of Michael Bay. And Michael Bay's like, I want this guy to do a movie.
After making The Rings, Michael Bay wanted him.
Yeah.
Right.
And Michael Bay, being Michael Bay, gave him 2 of the shittest movies I could ever imagine a first-time director
Transformers 1 and Transformers 2.
No, number
No,
one's
no, no.
great, and you shut your mouth.
getting. So the first one he did was the Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
Ah.
the prequel, produced by Michael Bay.
As in the first one of the new era of Texas Chainsaw Massacre movies?
Yeah, it'd have to be.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah. I
it's,
don't remember hating that.
I remember hating it.
I
Okay.
don't remember watching it because I never watched it.
And then Michael Bay's gone, yep, you know what? I love that. Let's give him a second movie. Let's give him the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles live action.
Which one?
The first one.
That's all right. The Vanilla Ice one.
No. Ben, back it
No,
up.
the New
And
Age.
raise it forward.
Oh.
The New Age ones
The
that Michael
CGI
Bay did.
ones.
Not the like late 80s, early
When they're
90s
wearing
ones.
costumes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not that.
Whereas-
I think I saw the first one of those probably I've seen Lieb's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movies.
I've seen them both.
I've never watched it again.
Yeah, right.
I
So,
won't.
in saying that, they gave him $70 million to make a movie.
So that's all he had done.
That's all he'd done.
I'm going down a limb and saying this guy's hella charismatic.
Whose money
Yeah.
is it? Did Michael Bay executive produce this or something
I
like
don't
that?
think so, no. I
Because
think it's...
it fucking feels like Michael Bay the whole way, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. Actually,
Yeah.
now you mentioned his name. This has got
I
Michael Bay
don't think it is. But then again...
And I mean that in a good
you know
way.
what I'm
No,
like.
yeah,
I love
agree.
Michael
I
Bay.
love
yeah.
Michael Bay,
Yeah.
but that's what I said. Like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's one of his worst.
There's a reason Bay didn't make them himself.
Yeah, he produced them.
So I can have my
Didn't want
dregs.
to take the risk. Yeah.
Have my
Okay.
dregs leaps.
So that's why this this Lieb guy, he gets a $70 million budget movie.
How?
How much pressure is he under there? Does his career end?
Who was the
It
most?
doesn't matter because his career ends.
Who was the most recent guy where the guy that made Black Panther? I can't remember his name, but he had. Let me look it up quickly because this is important context.
Talk amongst yourselves, people.
Whittle our thumbs.
So he made one small movie, and then I'm
Oh,
embarrassed
yeah,
I don't
true,
remember
yeah.
his name.
Yeah.
All it takes is one,
And then they just
one
went-
person to see talent.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
they just went, "Oh, here, have 100." Ryan Coogler, of course it
Oh
was.
yeah, of course.
So he did. Where are we here?
They
is
got
quite-
this one right, though. That's the difference.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, like he
Yeah.
really nailed it.
Yeah, good.
Black Panther's great.
So
Not
he
good with
this is what it
podcasts.
was. So he did Fruitvale Station, which
Fruitvale,
is
Michael P. Jordan, masterpiece.
It's a low budget film though.
Yeah, it's very good,
relatively.
though.
And then he went straight from that to Creed,
Yeah.
which
Yeah,
all of a sudden
great
it's a
film.
blockbuster movie. It's
Yeah.
awesome, yeah.
Banger.
And then to Black Panther.
I can
So the
see-
guy makes one. I mean,
Right.
Fruitvale Station. I don't want to speculate too much, but let's say it was probably made with $5 million.
Yeah.
Like what it was I think it was even an independent film. Like
Yeah, it was
very
just
low budget.
filmed in the subway.
And then they just went bang bang. So kind of similar to that. The Lieb's having a similar launch pad.
Yeah, now look at
What
them
does he
both.
do? What does he do with it versus Kugler?
Yeah.
Because Kugler's going okay.
So
Ouch.
after this, he made Sahana. It's a movie on Netflix, which is
Sahana?
Sahana, I think it's called. I didn't do the research. You know what I'm like. And it's not very good. All right, let's get into the actors. What are we going to talk about first? We have to talk about Aaron.
Aaron
I
Eckhart's
know
jaw.
everyone has some points on Aaron.
Man, I'm a fan.
I loved him. Was he convincing as a badass action star? Yes. Yes, for me. He's normally
Okay.
second fiddle.
I'm going to disagree again.
No. Did you not see his chiseled chin?
Oh man,
don't
that
love
jaw, that chin.
I find Aaron Eckhart really bland.
How?
I always have. He's in some really cool movies that I love, like the Olympus movies. Olympus Has Fallen, London Has Fallen.
The Core.
The Core.
Core.
Yeah.
Dark Knight Band, Two-Face.
Yeah,
Jeez.
I've only ever actually liked him as a performer in Thank You for Smoking. If you've ever seen that. Yeah, so I really like him in that. But everything else he's been in, I just want him to be someone else.
What?
He kind of reminds me. You know, who he reminds me of Patrick Wilson. They're the same kind of thing.
I like Patrick Wilson.
Yeah,
too.
they're very generic though, aren't they?
No.
I just find him bland. I was watching this with Ash, my wife, and she actually said while we're watching it, when she realised Aaron Eckhart was in it, she goes, "I hate his face. He should only ever play an unlikable stepdad."
And we need Ash takes more often.
I tend to agree. It's just one of those things. We don't have to agree on who we like and don't like. I'm just saying.
Oh, it'd be better if we did.
He
I'm not a big Eckhart
I'd like you more
He
if
was
you
a-
agreed with me.
He was
All
a
right,
troubled
so-
man who's very good at warring. And I thought he played the character perfectly.
Okay.
When he's stabbing that alien looking for it, just give me one more
He
minute.
just looks a bit like a school teacher or an accountant to me. He doesn't look like a war
Most
guy.
Marines are have other jobs.
No, that's not accurate at all.
It's weird because when he first was wearing like the little marine hat and stuff,
Yeah.
which is not a practical hat, but that's another story that's giving
Yeah.
you no sun coverage whatsoever.
Yeah.
And they're in the desert a lot from the movies I've seen, so have a think about that. But I just thought quintessential marine, the chiseled jaw, the steely 1,000 yards.
Okay.
Like,
Lip in his chin.
Their ages wouldn't work well here because they'd be too young at the time. But let's look at the latest couple of kind of warish movies like Chris Pratt and the Tomorrow War. It's an alien invasion movie on Amazon.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt, he plays that guy because he is a hero. He's got those heroic qualities.
He plays a charismatic guy. This is
Yeah.
not a charismatic.
He doesn't
man.
in that movie,
This
actually.
is a lifer. He is a warring lifer.
Yeah, but
And
he's
he looks he's chiseled. He's broken.
he's got some demons.
That's my
I
other
love a
problem
demon.
with him is
Oh.
because he's bland and looks like a school teacher. I didn't believe that he had any of those things. That's just me.
I throw my arms up in disgust.
Kenny's on one.
We've had real differing opinions.
Yeah.
first
Sorry,
time.
sorry, everyone. I know you tuned in for fun.
Yeah. I chose
No,
a
this
fun
is-
one.
I find arguing fun.
I know you do. I've known you a long
Did
time.
you guys find Aaron Eckhart's speeches? Like, there's a few speeches in here that are corny as shit. But Jesus.
Yes.
8 beers in, I had a few tears.
Nah.
Man.
I was stone cold sober and I was like, hoorah!
I'm definitely with you on that. When he does
Retreat? Hell no.
when he's standing in front of the brother of one of the soldiers that he lost.
That
and he starts-
speech is riveting.
when he starts naming the soldiers
The
and
Marine number.
they're like
Oh,
ID
fuck.
numbers.
Yeah.
I commanded men, and men died. Kids, 19 years old. The best men I ever led. Do you think for 1 second that I wouldn't rather trade places with them? I know you think I got my men killed. They're dead. I'm here. Like the punchline of some bad joke. You think I like that? You think a minute goes by that those faces aren't right here, seared into my brain?
Oh man, it really got me.
Yeah.
It was really cheesy, but it was
Yeah.
just perfect
Again,
for the movie.
There's tropes all through this,
Yeah,
all the way through this. It's like there's a list of war movie tropes, and the speech is like,
unbelievable.
like I said, probably cheesy. But how can you not say he's
It
a
is
great
cheesy,
actor when
but, like,
he
that's the
delivers
movie.
dialogue like that?
Yeah.
And
Was that
you-
bland,
you
Ken?
feel
Did you find
something.
that bland?
No, I
Did Chris
just
Pratt
just
do
think
that?
Yes.
Can Chris Pratt do that?
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll do it with a smile on his face, and everyone will be like, fucking
I just
Chris
think
Pratt.
there was 10. Chris Pratt might not have been a great example, but I just think there was
Terrible
probably
example.
10 other guys
Can you
at
name
that
one off
time.
the top of your hat?
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt was a fat guy in parts in this.
No, I'm just trying to think who was huge in 2011. That's the problem to try and think it.
Christopher
And also,
Bale.
it
Christian
probably
Bale,
Christian Bale, perfect.
Oh.
I'm 100%. I believe it, and it becomes a heavier movie. So when he does deliver those lines, there's a lot more weight to it.
There was a lot of weight in that line. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I'm this crusty, cynical old motherfucker.
Okay,
and
so
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, man, you got me.
So you're saying that you wanted Aaron Eckhart over anyone else at
Yep,
that time?
I thought he nailed it.
After watching it, you don't think that there's other people out there that could have
There's
done this
other-
way better? Probably
No.
cost a bit more money, and they didn't have it.
There's
Oh,
other
but-
people that could do it.
I'm saying I thought I bought in on Aaron Eckhart in this
Okay.
movie, and I
100%.
enjoyed it. And
That's
I thought,
cool.
you know what, he's probably better than the movie deserved.
Yeah.
And he carried it. I was thinking, I'm not saying someone couldn't have done it better.
Yeah.
But a shit ton of people would have made it a worse movie if they
Yeah.
weren't.
Yeah, yeah.
If they were in that role.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
they could have gone too deep into it. He just nailed it.
Yep.
He's not a well-spoken man because he's a lifer in the army. So.
I think he was very well spoken.
Oh
Yeah.
man, he made me cry
Yeah, that bit
twice.
That bit where
Yeah, he had some great
where
lines.
he goes down the helicopter.
You're the
is
bravest
just
Marine
by
I've
himself.
ever met. I was like, oh fucking hell!
I
Aaron.
know what you're going to say. Or he lands on the ground
Lands
off
on
the,
the
road.
ground, and I go, oh, it's like fuck yeah. Then another rope drops down, another rope,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
all come and follow. But it's like fuck yeah.
Oh, I
Yeah,
was
There was
moved.
there was
I was definitely moved.
That was one of the things where it's actually interesting that the Leibs didn't have a better career because I'm not one for like looking through the artist's lens and looking at the way things are directed necessarily. But there was some shots that really stood out as like really good shots in this film. That was one, the way that was filmed, where he drops down, then the other guys all drop down. There was one shot, and it could have just been a pretty run-of-the-mill point of view shot down the barrel of the gun, but it was back towards the soldier, the young bloke.
Yeah, okay.
Right? And I
Yeah.
was like, that's pretty dope. Like he looked, you could see
Look
the
cool.
furious-
So,
yeah.
and like an original kind of shot.
Yeah.
Not just, yeah.
Then when the one where he goes to the petrol station and blows the bejesus out of the alien shit, right?
Yeah.
That's a real John Wayne shit.
Yeah, who's John Wayne? One guy says, I'm like, "Get the fuck off the bus."
I'm glad that bus got
Yeah,
burnt. Taken.
Neo. Yeah, fuck you, Neo. But there was a shot, and it could be cheesy, but it was like him through the flames.
Yeah.
And it was just, and it wasn't oversold. It was just done for a little bit, and I was like, "That's a pretty cool shot." You know?
He doesn't walk back to the bus. He checks to see if there's an alien actually inside these things, and that's when you find out these are drones.
Yep.
Oh Jesus,
Yep.
they're just drones.
And even there was like a wide shot when they're first underground in the water, and these are all things that we've seen a lot.
Yeah.
It was just
That there was a
done well.
really good like wide shot of them in the water with what's in front of them.
Another thing,
The wide shots of the burning LA were great
Oh
as well.
man!
Yeah,
And
yeah.
again,
Done.
I'd love to watch LA burn.
when that guy dies on the tower, he throws the thing, and it's like he turns around, and the drone just kills him. That really shook me. I was like, oh man, he was my favorite. He was just a war boy. I love war boys.
I was just letting you go there.
A war boy.
No, I know what a war boy
It's
is.
just
boy
a little
that goes
boy's
to-
a war
I don't know
boy.
what part of the movie you're referring to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I just let you go.
Yeah.
Oh, you lost
Was
me.
it the bus?
No, it was on top of the tower, and he goes. So he
Never mind.
spots the thing in the
Happy to move on.
cut this whole thing out.
I'm not going to.
Making a note. Remove the war boy bit, Ken.
No,
I'm gonna leave that.
The war boy's good. The war boy
Isn't War Boys from Mad Max?
It's you two.
Aren't they called the War? Aren't they called the War Boys in Mad Max? Witness me.
Witness
The
me,
War
I
Boys.
am the war boy.
I'm sure it's the War Boys.
Yeah, because that's great dialogue.
So, in terms of Metacritic, this is Aaron Eckhart's 7th worst score.
Oh wow, I'm surprised.
Did you think there'd be more?
No, I thought that this would be further down the bottom for him.
No, it's his 7th worst. He's got a few.
He's done a few bombs.
Yeah, his.
I don't
best-
think the Has Fallen movies would have gone too well.
Yeah, fair
Whoa.
point.
Critically, I'd love them.
Hold
Yeah.
on to my hand, Ken, because it's
I will.
about to get really messy.
Holding hands.
The
Yeah,
Dark
holding
Knight
hands.
was his best, of course.
Yes.
Of course.
They had a Metacritic score of 84. And
Yes.
in The Dark
Wow.
Knight, did he nail that character?
Yeah.
Yeah, he was great.
100%.
Yeah, he was
like-
great. Well, it was a good character for him to play.
A bland
He got a
lawyer.
layup.
A bland layer. Yeah, gee, I can't even with this.
They lobbing him softballs.
Can't even.
No, that
Duff's
character's
getting emotional.
That character suited him.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's in his wheelhouse.
And this really pisses me off. It pisses me off madly. His worst movie with a Metacritic score of 28
28.
is London Has Fallen.
Wow. It wasn't great.
What?
That also in his wheelhouse. Plays
Yeah.
kind of a bland president.
No, he's an aggressive president.
Yeah,
Just gets told
London
what
Has
to
Fallen.
That's a bland president.
Yeah.
That fucking balls out. To
How
him.
does London Has...
No, he's bland for most of it, isn't he? The Gerard Butler kind of carries him around for an hour and a half, and then he shoots a couple. Yeah.
Name one other president that shot a man.
That's well. I'm not going to make political statements. I was
let's
about to
leave that
go
one.
deep on Trump.
What I'm trying to say is, how the hell did that score less than I, Frankenstein, one of the worst movies I've
that's a
seen
stinker.
in
I didn't
a
watch
long
that.
time.
Yeah, no, that sucks.
So a little bit of information about Aaron Eckhart. He actually broke his arm in day 30 of filming of a 60-day film. He broke his arm, did not miss a day of work.
How about that, Ken?
It's good.
Is that bland for you, Ken? Or what was it, a minor fracture?
Yeah,
Probably was.
upper arm or lower arm?
So I think that just solidifies.
Have you got any X-rays of the fracture?
Yeah, it was a compound fracture
Ken
of the
wants to
tibia and fibula. Is that on the arm?
No,
That's a leg?
no, yeah.
Ken's
He
going to
probably
need
had
to
a
see a
broken leg.
medical certificate before he buys this story. Aaron, if you're listening, can you fax Ken a medical certificate for proof, please?
I'd appreciate it, and then I might start to believe him as a Marine.
Oh, wow.
Now I'm going to talk about Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah!
I'd love to.
Formidable Michelle.
Yeah, she's great, man.
Oh, man.
I got to say this. Does she play the same character in every movie? The Fast and Furious movies, this, Resident Evil, is she the same chick?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't think it's her fault though.
No.
I think they just
She's
they
typecast as a...
yeah they just we
badass.
need a strong woman with attitude, sexiness, that sort of stuff.
So they say to her, be yourself.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'd say that's what she is in real life
man.
because she's always like this.
Yeah, yeah.
And she's always great.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Straight away, too. She's like, she walks in, she goes, guys, I got this.
yeah.
Yeah.
She's like, straight, she's a badass with brains. And I'm like, oh, Michelle.
So a month before filming, they felt like they needed extra.
a woman's touch.
And in walks Michelle Rodriguez, and yeah.
I'll go out on a limb and say she's never been bad in anything.
No.
There's been some movies that she's been in that haven't worked. She's in
Avatar?
blockbusters, but hey, she's in blockbusters, but she's also in really low budget movies. She'd have a
Shit.
massive IMDb,
Oh, yeah.
100 plus.
Yeah, yeah.
But she's always good. She's always great.
Yeah.
And maybe it is because she's always playing Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah, yeah.
And Michelle Rodriguez is
That's
fucking
right.
awesome.
And she's
Yeah.
really good at being formidable.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
She's
can't. Is
she's
she
a
the
scary chick.
who? Like, is there a more formidable leading lady? Who you got?
I think that chick that was in The Mandalorian, who's been cancelled now, but
Oh, yeah.
she was pretty formidable. She scared the shit out of me.
Scarlett Johansson is quite good in
Actually,
the
true.
action.
I think she's too pretty.
Yeah, that's true. Wait,
Yeah.
what are you saying about Michelle Rodriguez?
She's not as pretty as Scarlett Johansson.
No,
Okay.
nobody's as
I
pretty
don't
as
know
Scarlett
what-
Johansson. To be fair,
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't know we're starting to rate the
The
attractiveness
attractiveness.
of female celebrities.
I don't
Do you want me
think
to say Scarlett Johansson?
Let's not
is,
do that.
Not that pretty.
No, she is. She's very attractive, but she's also great.
She's a great
You put her
actress.
in those action like Atomic Blonde, or I haven't seen
Lucy,
Black
I
Widow,
love
but
Lucy.
Lucy was
I might
great.
be the only person.
No,
who loves
wait,
Lucy.
she wasn't in
Charlize
Atomic Blonde.
Theron.
Atomic
Charlize
Blonde,
Theron.
sorry.
All right, so Charlize Theron. There's another one.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, Mad
Yeah.
Max, and she's got her own spin-off.
Actually, yeah, fuck yeah, Charlize Theron.
Yeah, actually,
Yeah.
yeah, fair point.
Yeah. But Rodriguez is in that conversation,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which is saying something about Rodriguez because she's never going to be a
Without
Black Widow or Atomic Blonde.
Is she relevant without the Fast and the Furious movies? Do you think
Yeah,
she's
she did
relevant?
SWAT, man.
yeah,
she did
yeah
SWAT.
she's been in a lot of things.
Machete.
Yeah, and she's been in a lot of things during those movies as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought she was just hanging with her family.
No, she was dating. She was dating Vin Diesel.
Was she in real life?
That's a rumor.
You guys are always bringing up little dating tidbits about.
I'm
the-
across this. I read a lot of Woman's Day.
He's on
Yeah,
the.
okay. All right, so I was wrong about Rodriguez. She only got 53 to her name, not 100.
Yeah, it's a lot.
She hasn't been working that long.
I raised
Oh,
my eyebrow.
She's been around. She's 20 years, I reckon.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, there you go. First movie's 2000.
That's
The Fast and the Furious was 2001.
20 years is 5 movies a year, though, so it's a big.
Yeah. Sorry, I see what you're
Yeah.
saying. Yeah, but yeah, she's been in some cool stuff.
Yeah. Other than Avatar.
Oh, yep.
Has anyone watched Avatar twice?
Yes.
Yes, I have. I reckon I've watched it 4 times.
Fuck, you guys got to get a hobby, eh?
I just love
I
seeing
really
it.
like it. I'm pumped for the new one.
Yeah. I'm not
There's
pumped.
if you want to talk about visual effects.
No, we
Avatar.
don't. I think we're
Actually-
done with that. So this is a 4 floor score. Her Metacritic score. This is a 4 floors. That surprises me a bit.
Yeah.
What's below it?
Blow it. Let me tell you.
Thank you.
She actually has a movie that scored a 1.
What? I've never heard of that before.
1 out of 100.
1 out of 100.
Shit. Wait,
So
is
I
that
guess that's not many reviews.
might be from one
Because
review? Yeah.
listen to it. It is written by
will.
Adrian Brody.
Wait, the review's written by Adrian Brody?
No, the movie,
hates
mate.
it.
Adrian Brody wrote this movie.
Did she leave him for Vin Diesel?
Yeah, what a mistake. Adrian Brody wrote this movie. He was also banned from hosting Saturday Night Live because he's simply unfunny.
Adrian
Right.
Brody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the movie he wrote
Well, he's not really.
is a comedy.
They don't have to ban him.
okay.
They just don't have to ask him. That seems like an
No, they
excessive.
don't
The
let him
movie
in the
is
building.
called Appropriate Comedy.
App appropriate. Oh, like app, like a play on words.
Yeah,
like,
so it's about
instead of inappropriate.
So it's about an app that gets
Appropriate?
released into the, I don't know, it's called a one. I didn't watch it.
yeah, I'm giving
So
it one.
app-
I haven't seen it.
I,
App.
I'm
Are you just
really
saying appropriate?
appropriate? but
Appropriate for app.
appropriate. Appropriate. Am I saying?
What has it got 3 P's?
No, it's app. Yeah. No, just app.
Give me your notes. Let me have a look.
No, it's also in my diary.
What does it say?
It says app. I did a double capital letter for the PP.
If anyone listening wants to go make a cup of tea,
This is the time to do it.
I don't even know where you've written it.
Yeah, because it's in invisible ink.
This is
idiot.
a shopping list. You've handed me a shopping list.
Well,
This
next
is a
up
whole
we're
page of
discussing
penises.
weapons.
It's just a sketch of Aaron Eckhart's jawline.
Yeah, I made a big deal about it,
Perfect
but I can't
square.
say the word, which sucks.
and so
Her best movie is Widows. It's called 84.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I should have. On paper, I should have
Yeah.
loved it, but man, it didn't
I
work
thought it was
for me.
very good, actually.
tell me
So-
more. I'm not familiar.
Well, she's a widow.
And there's
It's
other
about
widows.
bank robbers
Bank robber,
that
yeah. Liam Neeson. I
they
think's
die
in it.
during a bank robbery, and it's up to their widows to clean up the mess.
Yeah, there
Oh,
you
yeah.
Yeah, so that's Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You want to move on to Michael Pena, the friend of the show, Michael
Pena.
Pena.
Pina?
Pina.
Pina.
In this movie, he adds a bit of heart.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
yeah. Oh, yeah.
He is the main character.
I actually-
who gives you the heart tip.
This isn't a take that's going to offend you guys again, but I just wish he was actually just one of the Marines. Because Michael Pena. So I was like, I want to see him being like a badass. I didn't want to see him as the...
You wanted to
like-
see Neo die.
Yeah,
and
but
he'd
he
be
did.
around.
But he did go out. He did go out.
He died a
awesomely.
hero.
Oh, he
Saved-
died a hero. Yeah.
saved that
So,
guy's
so he
life.
did have that. But like, I would have liked to see Pena as one of the badass guys.
On
in the
that
movie.
note, so if you were a civilian
Mm.
and it's saving a Marine's life, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Would you be like,
Purple Heart.
he signed up for this, I didn't? Would part of you be like, you know what, fuck him? I'm like, I
think-
don't know. that I
Also,
would
though, these 10 soldiers
just-
are now sacrificing their lives to save me and my
Yeah.
it's
family.
their job, Ken.
No, the job's to kind of save the world or protect the city.
Yeah, and look,
They just happen to stumble across
No,
Pena
they
and...
specifically sent in to save those civilians.
Were they?
right?
Yeah.
I
were-
missed that bit.
Michael Pena is probably like a baker, right?
Yeah, okay.
I
And
reckon
he
they
takes
got.
up arms. Nah, I'm like, you're on your own, bro.
Do you reckon they got pissed off when they rocked up at the police station where all these civilians were, and there's like 5?
Yeah, Michael Pena, when he holds Aaron Eckhart's hand and says, what does he say? Like, make sure you save my son.
Save my son.
And then Aaron Eckhart says nothing.
It happens twice
I
in the
know.
movie. He doesn't make promises.
Yeah, man.
He doesn't make
That's
promises.
a good
Yeah,
touch.
that's good.
That's
Yeah.
why
Good
at-
writing.
At the
Yeah.
end, when he
It's that
He's
attention
like,
to
no.
detail. Yeah.
at the end he does make a promise.
Yeah.
And that was a whole big breaking of that. I think.
Was it
Mike-
to hook up with the vet?
Yeah,
It's like,
probably.
I'll call you, I promise. She's like, you don't make promises. He's like, no.
So this is his 5th lowest scoring movie.
That shocks me as well. See, yeah.
He's made a lot of movies. He's
Yeah.
never carried a movie. He's carried a few.
Ant-Man.
I
Ant-Man,
want to
he's
make a prediction
kills
here.
Ant-Man.
I reckon I can guess his worst movie.
Oh,
But
man.
I'm talking out of his mainstream. Like, there's always movies that you don't know that they've done.
No, I think
I
you
reckon
can guess it.
Observe and
Appropriate
Report?
No,
Oh,
no, it
not
isn't.
Observe and Report.
His worst movie is sitting at 22. It's Fantasy Island.
Oh, yeah. I fucking hated that.
Best movie is 84, and that is American Hustle. I don't remember him being in it.
Yeah.
But Michael Pena is the kind of guy that he's a co-star all the time.
Yeah, he pops
And
up
he
in a lot.
blends in, and you forget about
I
him.
saw him in something the other day. I was watching a movie with my daughter, the new live-action Dora movie on
Yeah,
Netflix.
that's great.
Dora the Explorer. Michael
great.
Pena's in that as the
Yeah.
dad of Dora. And
Yeah.
he just kind of pops up and he's funny.
He does
He's
his
like
role. He does his
he's
role
like the
perfectly.
comic relief in it. And he's actually really funny in what is like a really childish film. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's good.
I liked it. Should we go on to the Metacritic scores?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yep.
I got a score prepared. 70.
70.
Yeah.
Okay, that's big.
Which is my highest score. I think I gave Domino 70 as well, but that's because I chose it and I had to.
Yeah.
genuinely pleasantly surprised.
Yeah.
Genuinely pleasantly surprised by this movie. Like, I was like, right from the get-go, it set up nice and obviously. There's literally titles telling you who's who, what's going on. There was Tupac to let you know that you're in California.
Mm-hmm.
The beach workout scenes. And then I think it did a really good job of building the tension throughout.
Yep.
There was heaps of tropes crammed in there. Some I love. I love nervous Marines in a helicopter.
Yeah.
I just like the banter of nervous Marines.
One of them vomits. And,
I would be the
one
worst.
of them's asleep.
The carnage scenes were great. The cast I thought was really good, including Aaron Eckhart, who I'm a big fan of.
Massive haircut.
And then it actually it got through to me on a few times. The scene where Michael Pena dies, I was affected. I was like, "You fucking serious?"
Yeah, I'm really surprised how much it got to you, and it's actually great because now I know there's hope for a lot of these movies that I've got on my list.
You know that I have
where I thought, oh no, just for this particular type of film.
Yeah.
I thought you were going to trash it. I didn't think it would be to your taste at all.
I was really excited to let Duff know that I actually liked his movie.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah,
You're a change man. I love it.
no.
Yeah, that's cool. Gives me hope for the Anaconda pod.
You're still in my fleek.
Can't wait. So a couple of things that that knocked the score down, and I was invested, and I was genuinely excited by this movie all the way through. Like even enough that I ignored apparently the subpar CGI lasers and whatnot.
I'll YouTube them to you later.
Yeah,
I'll link you the
please
clips.
do.
Yeah.
I've
time-stamped it all.
I was confused by some of the action sequences.
Yep.
They were a bit like messy. I lost track of who was who.
Oh yeah.
But that doesn't really.
What you mean you just had the aliens and then the Marines.
No. Like, the Marine, I was like,
oh, which Marine was who? Yeah, right.
But it doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
But I was a little confused by like what was going on there. They just seemed a little.
It kind of
confusing.
focuses on 4 of them.
Yeah.
And then there's the other Marines.
But even
around.
amongst those 4, it was just like so hectic and shaky, and that
Yeah,
I didn't really know what was happening.
When Neo's best man died, that was heartbreaking when he saved Michelle Rodriguez when he pushed her off the van.
Yeah. That's why he's the best man.
Yeah.
So I lost track of who's who. I thought the shaky camera was done well enough. My only other thing, you have to admit, it is borderline Marine porn, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
Retreat hell.
But
no.
how do
I
they
found myself signing up for the
retreat
Marines.
hell?
Yeah.
Ugh.
Hoorah!
Yeah. But how do they make a movie night like that and not have it as Marine
I know,
porn?
but
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, guys, we get it. Like, you feel it somewhere along the line. The Marines like chipped in a couple of bucks.
Well, they got a lot of bucks.
Yeah,
was
that's
the
yeah.
thing.
So, but no, 70.
Okay.
Surprised
Good
myself.
for morale.
Yeah, that's huge. I have some thoughts on the film. You know what? I'm gonna actually go through a couple of my thoughts about it before I actually give the score, because I was kind of torn by the end of it as to which way I'm going to go on this pod and with my final review. So I'm not sure I can fully redeem the film.
Ooh, wow.
I'm not sure I can.
This shakes me.
It was like an end of the world blockbuster, but it felt like it was from 1998. It didn't feel like a 2011 blockbuster. Yet the visual effects felt like they were from 1988. Yet it was all made in 2011.
My God.
So just all of that stuff combined just didn't sit well with me. Aaron Eckhart just wasn't the one for me. I've been through that. I'm not going through this again. He just wasn't the one.
Dancing on his grave now.
Yeah.
I would love to go back in time when we were talking about this and have a list of 10...
17 hours prior.
Have a list of 10 people who at that time I think could have carried it better. I actually, just off the top of my head now, I think Michelle Rodriguez probably could have carried it better than Eckhart. I would have believed her.
Wrong.
No, it's my opinion, man.
I hate it.
So yeah, it might just be like a personal
Clearly is.
a vendetta that I've got against Aaron Eckhart.
did to you.
He just bores me. It's as simple as that. He just
It's not
bores me.
jealousy because your wife hated him. It's not.
Yeah,
like she was-
exactly. So yeah, it was a military action film more than it was a sci-fi.
Yeah.
And if I look at it as a military action movie rather than a sci-fi movie, then it ranks very low compared to other military action films.
Fair.
Yep.
Okay, can't argue with that one.
Yeah. There was no real story about the aliens, which I know it's intentional.
No
but
school bus.
Yeah. Other than the fact they came for our water.
Yeah.
But I like to know more about the aliens.
I think I think it does that on purpose. So it's not about the aliens; it's about the ground troops.
Oh, definitely.
During mini wars, not the huge all battle.
And that's exactly what I mean by it was more a military action film than what it was a sci-fi
Okay,
movie.
yeah.
Yeah, it could have just been. They could have been in Somalia fighting the local rebels like they were in Black Hawk Down.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be aliens.
Also fighting over water.
Yeah, funnily enough.
Wow,
There you go.
crazy.
All of that kind of brings me to my last point. It tried so desperately to invoke emotion in me, but I pretty much felt nothing the whole time. Wow. Other than a couple of the very perfect speeches from Eckhart, where I was moved. And most of the time I just kind of sat there thinking, yeah, this is pretty cool, but man, these visual effects really fucking suck.
You really...
I'm surprised,
on the
honestly.
visual.
I
didn't notice
Did you
that
think
at
was
all.
that these takes were going to be reversed and
Yeah.
then Ken was going to be mean?
I did as well before I went into watching it.
Yeah.
What
a twist.
I want to say I really did want to redeem this movie because it is right in my wheelhouse. And yeah, it just didn't sit well with me. So I'm sorry, but I'm going to nail it to the cross.
Ooh, yeah.
It needed more Michael Bay and less Aaron Eckhart. 40 out of 100.
Wow.
Well, for me, it's very obvious that I love the movie. For me, to actually sit there and have... It's just a fuck yeah moment every 15 minutes.
Yeah.
From the start, even the beach scene where he's running, he's like,
And he gets
yeah.
overtaken.
And then he puts ice on his knee. It's like, fuck yeah.
Yeah. I didn't pick that as one of those moments.
And then you find out the Marines hate him. Even the Marines playing golf and getting to know them bit moments. It's just, I loved it. I felt like I knew the main four players, and I cared about them a lot. Mm-hmm. And then Michael Pena came onto the scene and just added a lot more heart. Mm-hmm. And I loved the movie. It was all the battle scenes I loved, from the bus onwards to the end of the movie. Yeah. I loved how when the laser targeting that last bit, you can actually see the lasers. Like normally in movies, oh yeah, we got it locked. No, you don't.
Yeah, you actually see the red dot, you mean.
But you actually see the red dot
Was
laser.
that laser up to par, Ken?
Well, that's because they used one of those little pen light lasers for that bit. That was the best visual effect of the film.
Yeah, so for me, the visual effects were spot on. I loved everything, the explosions, the long shots of LA burning, and you realise those guys were just there.
Yeah.
And when they come back to the base, that's already been wiped out. So they are behind enemy lines. But when they get off that chopper with those ropes,
yeah, man.
I was like, hell yeah. And they're going to retreat. Hell.
yeah, that stuff was very stirring. It was very cool, yeah.
And from the speeches, from his relationship to the hostages, they were just people.
Yeah.
But then he became more of the people. He's a protector of those people. Yeah. And it actually offended him.
Not another one of those civilians died.
yeah. So
you would actually be better than Aaron Eckhart in that movie. Yeah,
I am an actor of some regard. Look at my
Wait, are you saying
IMDb.
saying you've got an IMDb?
I've got an IMDb.
Wow.
Oh, wow, look it up. For me, I loved it. I've always loved it. If anything, I've raised my score. My score is a mighty 87.
Just now you've raised it?
I've raised it. Just talking about it.
I'm getting so excited.
Just talking about it
makes counteract my 40?
Makes me want to go home and watch it again.
Yeah, okay.
Wow.
I might just
I won't
go
watch
home
it
and
again.
watch it again just to check the visual effects.
Yeah.
And
I'm
either
waiting for
send
Ken's
Ken a
stills.
sorry message or a fuck you message. So.
Definitely do that. We'll report back on the next pod how that goes now that I've pointed those out. Maybe you guys will notice them.
Yeah.
I'm not going to rewatch it again. Instead, I'll rewatch Black Hawk Down, which is a far better military movie, or I'll rewatch Independence Day, which 15 years earlier. And
you cannot compare this to Independence Day. You just cannot.
I just did.
Do you reckon they could make a number 2 quite easily?
What Battle San Diego?
Yeah, like Battle World.
San Andreas.
Battle San
And it's got The Rock in it.
Yeah.
Write that down. That's a good premise for a movie.
Right, yeah. No.
Why not?
Why?
I just think
Yeah.
it was clearly,
Well, it kind of...
it was
No,
a success.
it's maxed out.
It's made money.
We're
probably-
going back to
it's
save Los
wide
Angeles.
It's probably odd they didn't make
Yeah.
a sequel, considering it was a box office success.
Yeah.
But then, as we mentioned earlier, the fact that it's a box office success doesn't mean it's actually a really liked film.
Yeah.
Can anyone look it up quickly to see what the user review is?
I believe it was mid-60s.
I think I had it open on IMDb, so I'll
Also,
just have a quick look there.
Leibs is living on a private island, so he was like, "Guys, I'm good."
He's a very lucky director to get this handed into his lap.
Oh yeah,
Like, compared to what he's made, like 2 of the worst Michael Bay films.
So the user review score on IMDb is 5.7, and that's from 180,000 votes. So that's a lot of votes for a movie on IMDb, which
That's good, though. Like,
it's pretty good. It's not great. Like IMDb is pretty generous a lot of the time with those bigger films.
Yeah.
Because you just have everyone and anyone voting on them. And
that said, people
rather
on the
than critics.
internet are largely assholes,
and they
so-
hate everything.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I know I am.
So like me in this pod, is that what you mean?
yeah.
Just generally negative towards something.
What a classic Kenny.
Yeah.
That's around. I can't believe It's a 40. It just
I
still
was
blows
shocked.
my mind.
Yeah,
Yeah.
keeping it fresh for the listeners though. Keeping
Straight
them
into my
guessing.
diary.
Speaking of,
Next week.
Next
what do we
week, guys,
got?
I'm very,
What's the movie, Ben?
I'm excited.
Give me a bit of
quite
fun.
excited. I'm quite excited to announce that I'm making these guys watch and enjoy, no doubt. Just
I'm looking at you with like, oh no.
Give it to me.
semi-pro.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah, great.
fuck yeah.
Great.
I mean,
Fucking
Yeah,
you
really
don't-
like
you
it.
Yeah, lighten it up.
Wow,
Yeah.
I haven't seen it for quite a while, and I'm curious to see whether because a couple of the Will Ferrell ones don't hold up as well as what you'd expect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm pretty sure I will, but yeah, I'm keen.
So
Bit
guys,
of comedy, I love that.
Yeah, no, I
Haven't
thought
seen it in
well,
ages.
let's bring a comedy in. Also, it's a basketball
Good idea.
movie, so be prepared for 50 minutes of me discussing down screens and their offensive and defensive sets. You guys are going to love
Which I don't
that.
think
I don't want it.
actually-
Give it to me. I don't want
I
it.
don't like Andre 3000's play calling at all. So yeah, we're gonna lighten it up next
What
week.
year is that from? Semi-pro.
It was
Don't know
any,
yet.
I think it was in his peak
2010?
sports movie.
Can we
I guess we're doing it now.
Let's just roll straight into it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't watched it for a little while.
Yeah, good shout. I'm excited to do a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought we all deserved it. I think more than anything, anyone who's listened this far probably deserves a little treat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
so.
good.
Semi-pro, the Will Ferrell magnum opus next week. Join us.
Perfect. Thanks for listening to the Redeemables.
Redeemables.
And be sure to catch us on our social medias with any updates. Give us a like and a share.
Like us.
Thank you very much.
See you next week.
Bye.